And my mom told me that she was married before and I had a dad out there. I had no idea. Yeah, my upbringing is probably pretty unique. I think everybody's got a story. I've interviewed 1,400 people on the podcast, and everybody's got a story. My mom and dad got married pretty young. They were about 21. They had me in 1975. So they were married for about 4 years, and then after I was born, they went through a horrific divorce.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. But it was what it was. They got married young, and then my dad left. He was gone. I had no recollection of him whatsoever. In fact, I was about 5 years old, and I was in kindergarten, preschool, and I remember dads coming to pick up their kids, like my friends, and I was like, oh, so some dads wear suits and some dads wear jeans, and I knew I didn't have a dad at home. It was just me and my mom. It didn't bother me at all because in my 5-year-old brain, I thought moms go out and find dads. And my mom hadn't found a dad yet. So it was no big deal. But I'll never forget, man, the very first time my mom came home one day and it was a Friday night and she said, hey, I'm having a friend over for dinner. I work with him and he's a very special friend and I want you to meet him. That was her way of telling me I've been dating somebody I work with and it's time for you to meet him. So in my mind, I still remember this like literally like it was yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this must be the dad." Like, so this guy comes walking in, and he's a white collar dad, a software engineer. He's wearing a three-piece suit, the double Windsor tie, mustache, feathered hair, and like I'll never forget this guy walking in my house, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like that is a dad." And my mom introduced me to him. I shook his hand, and the very first thing I asked this guy is, "Are you gonna be my dad?" Like that was the first words that came out of my mouth. And I think my mom actually gasped. Like I remember hearing it in the background, and he just like awkwardly laughed. But 6 months later, they got married, and then they were together for like 5 years. And it was great in the beginning. I think my mom like really felt this urgency to create like a family but I don't think she ever really loved him, and their relationship was absolutely toxic, and he was a big drinker, and
Oh man, that sucks.
yeah, he abused my mom really bad, he abused me really bad, I mean, like, he beat me up, beat her up, it was pretty bad, especially towards the end, and then when I was 10, they got divorced, and he left, and it was at that time I started to ask my mom, like, "Wait a second, like, where did I come from? Like, this guy like, my last name is his last name, he adopted me and everything." And my mom told me that she was married before and I had a dad out there. I had no idea.
You just didn't remember because you're too young.
Two, didn't remember. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, well, where is he? What's his name? And she told me, she's like, I don't know where he is, but this is what he looks like. She showed me the wedding album. 2 years go by. And just for the sake of time, I won't go into the detail, but I had an opportunity to meet him.